Imagine being in the clear, calm waters, feeling the sun on your back, when suddenly a massive shark appears. Our series dives into the terrifying experiences of those who face these powerful predators. What causes these encounters? How do survivors overcome the fear? Join us as we reveal stories of survival, bravery, and the mysteries of the ocean. From the unexpected to the unbelievable, each tale will keep you on the edge of your seat. So join us in this video as we cover these 6 incredible shark attack stories. On April 5, 2023, off the coast of Destin, Florida, Jake Thompson, a fisherman in his early 40s, set out on a solo deep-sea fishing trip. Jake had spent most of his life on the waters around Florida. Growing up in the small town of Destin, known for its beautiful beaches and rich fishing spots, he had always loved the ocean. He learned to fish from his father, who was also a fisherman. From a young age, Jake practiced his skills and developed a love for the sea, becoming one of the best fishermen in his town. Planning this trip had been Jake's way of taking a break from his busy life. The last few months had been stressful, with long hours at the local fishing company where he worked. He wanted some peace and the thrill of the deep sea. This solo fishing trip was something he had been looking forward to for weeks. He got his small boat ready, making sure all the equipment was in top shape. Jake packed enough supplies for a few days, including his favorite fishing rods, bait, and safety gear. He also made sure he had a radio for communication and navigation. On the morning of April 5th, the weather was perfect. The sun was shining and the sea was calm, perfect for fishing. Jake set out early, the familiar smell of salt water filling the air as he steered his boat toward the deeper parts of the ocean. The peace of the open sea was exactly what he needed. He enjoyed the quiet, the gentle rocking of the boat, and the hope of catching a big fish. Hours passed as Jake waited patiently, casting his line and hoping for a big catch. He had already caught a few smaller fish, which he kept in a cooler. The sun was now high in the sky and the heat was strong. Suddenly, Jake felt a strong pull on his fishing line. Excitement filled him as he realized this was no ordinary catch. He began to reel it in, using all his strength and skill. The fight was intense, and it became clear that he had hooked something huge. To his surprise, a massive great white shark appeared from the water. It thrashed violently, clearly angry. Jake's heart raced as he fought to control the line. The shark's power was overwhelming, and it quickly turned dangerous. In a terrifying show of strength, the shark hit Jake's small boat. The impact was huge, causing the boat to capsize and throwing Jake into the water. Jake surfaced, gasping for air. Fear set in as he saw the shark circling closer. He was in the middle of the ocean, alone and in danger. Desperately, he looked around for anything that could help him. Miraculously, he spotted a piece of floating debris nearby. It was an abandoned jet ski, likely washed away from a nearby beach. Hope flickered within him as he realized this could be his only chance for survival. With every bit of strength he had left, Jake swam towards the jet ski. The shark was relentless, getting closer. Jake reached the jet ski and pulled himself onto it. His hands shook as he searched for the ignition. To his relief, the jet ski started. Without wasting a second, he sped away, the shark chasing him. The chase was on, and Jake knew he had to stay ahead if he wanted to survive. The shark's massive body cut through the water with terrifying speed. Jake used the jet ski's agility to his advantage, making sharp turns and heading for shallower waters. He needed a plan to escape, and fast. Jake zoomed over the water on the jet ski, his mind racing for a way to escape. The shark followed closely, its fin cutting through the waves like a knife. Jake steered the jet ski towards the shallower waters near Crab Island, hoping the shallow waters would slow the shark down. The jet ski bounced over the waves, and Jake had to hold on tightly to avoid being thrown off. His heart pounded as he swerved around rocks and sandbars. The shark stayed close behind, its huge body moving effortlessly through the water. Jake knew he couldn't keep this up forever. He needed a plan. He remembered that the jet ski could maneuver better in tight spaces. He steered towards a narrow channel between 2 small islands, hoping the shark would struggle to follow. The channel was filled with obstacles, but Jake navigated through them. The shark was still in pursuit, but beginning to lag behind. As Jake sped through the channel, he saw the shoreline of Destin Beach ahead. He pushed the jet ski to its limits, heading straight for the beach. He knew if he could get to land, the shark would have to give up the chase. The roar of the engine filled his ears as he raced toward safety. Just as he neared the shore, the jet ski hit a sandbar and came to a sudden stop. Jake was thrown forward, landing in the shallow water. He scrambled to his feet, the shark still approaching but now struggling with the shallow depth. Jake sprinted towards the beach, his legs burning with effort. Reaching the shore, Jake collapsed onto the sand, exhausted but alive. He looked back to see the shark turning away, unable to continue in the shallow water. Relief washed over him as he realized he had escaped. He lay on the beach, catching his breath and processing the terrifying ordeal. As the adrenaline wore off, Jake knew he needed to let someone know what had happened. He spotted a group of beachgoers nearby and waved to get their attention. They rushed over, helping him to his feet and asking if he was okay. Jake nodded, grateful for their help. Word of Jake's incredible escape spread quickly. Within hours, videos and pictures of the event were shared online, making Jake a local hero. His quick thinking and bravery were praised by everyone who heard the story. News crews arrived to interview him, and Jake found himself in the spotlight. Despite the attention, Jake remained humble. He was just happy to be alive and grateful for the support of his community. The experience had shaken him, but it also made him appreciate the simple joys of life even more. He knew he would never forget that day and the terrifying encounter with the great white shark. In the weeks that followed, Jake returned to the water, but this time with a new respect for the ocean and its creatures. He continued to fish, but always with a watchful eye and a healthy dose of caution. His story became a reminder to others of the power and unpredictability of nature. Jake's incredible escape inspired many and showed the importance of staying calm and thinking clearly in the face of danger. His story became a legend in Destin, a tale of courage and survival that would be told for years to come. And while Jake hoped never to face such a situation again, he knew he had the strength and resilience to overcome whatever challenges life might throw his way. On February 10, 2023, in the icy waters near Tromsø, Norway, the Jensen family embarked on a whale-watching tour. Peter and Laura Jensen, along with their 2 children, Emma and Noah, had planned this trip for months. Peter, a marine biologist, had always dreamed of seeing orcas in their natural habitat. Laura, a teacher, shared his excitement and thought it would be a wonderful experience for their kids. The family lived in Oslo, and this trip to Tromsø was a special vacation. They had heard many stories about the beautiful fjords and the amazing wildlife. They arrived in Tromsø a few days earlier, spending time exploring the town and enjoying the snowy landscape. Peter carefully chose the whale-watching tour, picking a reputable company known for its safety and knowledgeable guides. The morning of the tour, the Jensens bundled up in warm clothes, ready for their adventure. The boat, a sturdy vessel built for navigating the cold waters, was waiting at the dock. The captain, an experienced seafarer named Eric, welcomed them aboard. The air was crisp and the sky was clear, perfect for spotting whales. As they set out to sea, the family was filled with anticipation. The boat glided through the water, and soon they were surrounded by the stunning scenery of the Norwegian fjords. Peter pointed out various seabirds to Emma and Noah, sharing interesting facts about the local wildlife. Laura took pictures, capturing the beauty of their surroundings. After about an hour, Eric announced that they were approaching an area known for orca sightings. Excitement buzzed through the boat. Everyone gathered at the railings, eager to catch a glimpse of the magnificent creatures. Suddenly, a pod of orcas appeared, their black and white bodies cutting through the water with grace and power. The family watched in awe as the orcas swam closer. It was a magical moment seeing these majestic animals up close. The children were thrilled, and Peter felt a deep sense of joy, witnessing his lifelong dream. The orcas seemed curious about the boat, swimming around it and diving beneath the surface. However, the mood shifted quickly. The orcas started behaving strangely, circling the boat more aggressively. Peter's excitement turned to worry as he noticed the orcas bumping against the boat. The powerful animals were mistaking the boat for prey. Eric, sensing the danger, quickly took control. He instructed everyone to stay calm and move to the helm to steer the boat away from the orcas. The family huddled together, holding onto the railing as the boat rocked violently. The once peaceful tour had turned into a terrifying ordeal. The orcas continued to attack, hitting the boat with their bodies and creating huge waves. Water splashed over the sides, drenching the passengers. Eric skillfully maneuvered the boat, trying to evade the orcas and reach safer waters. The icy wind and the sound of the orcas' blows filled the air, adding to the tense atmosphere. Peter and Laura clung to their children, trying to shield them from the cold water and the fearsome orcas. The family prayed for a rescue, hoping that help would arrive soon. The once beautiful day had become a fight for survival in the frigid waters of Norway. Eric continued to steer the boat with all his might, navigating through the rough waters near Tromsø. The orcas showed no sign of stopping, their powerful bodies crashing against the vessel. The Jensens held on tightly, the icy spray stinging their faces. Fear gripped them as the boat lurched and swayed. In the distance, the sound of a helicopter reached their ears. It was the Norwegian Coast Guard responding to their distress signal. Relief washed over the family, but the danger was far from over. The orcas were still attacking and the boat was taking on water. Eric's skillful maneuvers had bought them some time, but they needed to act fast. The helicopter hovered above, and a rescue team prepared to lower a basket. The waves were high, making the rescue difficult. Eric positioned the boat as best he could, trying to keep it steady. The first member of the Coast Guard team was lowered down, reaching the deck amidst the chaos. The rescuers worked quickly, securing the children first. Emma and Noah were lifted into the helicopter safely, their faces pale but relieved. Next, Laura was brought up, clutching onto the harness tightly. Finally, it was Peter's turn. He gave Eric a grateful nod before being lifted to safety. With the family safe in the helicopter, the rescuers turned their attention to Eric. He remained calm and focused, ensuring everyone else was secure before thinking of his own safety. Once he was lifted off the boat, the helicopter flew them towards Tromsø harbor, leaving the damaged vessel behind. Back on land, the Jensens were wrapped in warm blankets and checked for injuries. They were shaken but unharmed. The Coast Guard team praised Eric for his bravery and quick thinking, which had undoubtedly saved their lives. The family thanked their rescuers, overwhelmed with gratitude. News of the attack spread quickly. The Jensens' terrifying experience and miraculous rescue became a story of bravery and survival. Peter, Laura, Emma, and Noah returned to their hotel, thankful to be safe. They spent the evening recovering, the warmth of the hotel room a stark contrast to the freezing ordeal they had endured. In the following days, the family reflected on their adventure. The memory of the orcas stayed with them, a reminder of the power and unpredictability of nature. Peter felt a deeper respect for the ocean and its inhabitants, understanding the fine line between awe and danger. The experience brought the family closer together. They appreciated each other more, realizing how quickly things could change. Despite the fear they had felt, they also cherished the moments of beauty and wonder they had witnessed. The sight of the orcas, even in their aggression, was something they would never forget. The Jensens returned to Oslo, sharing their story with friends and family. They became known for their incredible tale of survival in the icy waters of Norway. While they were glad to be home, the adventure had given them a new perspective on life and the importance of staying strong in the face of danger. Their trip to Tromsø was a reminder of the unpredictable nature of the sea and the importance of being prepared. The family remained grateful for Eric's skillful actions and the bravery of the Coast Guard. Their story became a testament to human courage and the power of hope in the most challenging situations. On July 15, 2023, a group of scuba divers prepared for an exciting adventure in the waters off the coast of Cozumel, Mexico. The group consisted of 4 friends: Benjamin, a marine biologist; Bella, a professional diver; Henry, an underwater photographer; and Viella, a travel writer. They had been planning this trip for months, eager to explore a famous shipwreck known for its vibrant marine life. The friends had met years ago during a diving course and bonded over their shared love for the ocean. They had traveled to many dive sites around the world, but this trip to Cozumel was special. The waters around the island were clear and warm, making it a perfect spot for diving. The shipwreck they were about to explore was known as the Coral Queen, a popular site teeming with fish, coral, and other sea creatures. The group arrived in Cozumel a few days earlier and spent their time preparing for the dive. They checked their gear, reviewed safety procedures, and discussed their plan. Benjamin, being the most experienced, would lead the dive. Bella would assist and keep an eye on the group. Henry was excited to capture stunning underwater photos, while Viella planned to document the adventure for her travel blog. On the morning of July 15th, the weather was perfect for diving. The sky was clear and the sea was calm. The group boarded a small boat that would take them to the dive site. As they sailed towards the Coral Queen, they marveled at the beauty of the turquoise waters and the distant shoreline. Their anticipation grew with each passing moment. Upon reaching the dive site, they suited up and double-checked their equipment. One by one, they entered the water, descending slowly towards the shipwreck. The underwater world was mesmerizing, with colorful corals and schools of fish swimming around. The wreck itself was covered in marine life, making it a breathtaking sight. The group explored the shipwreck, moving carefully and communicating with hand signals. They were immersed in the beauty of the underwater landscape when suddenly something large and dark moved in the distance. Benjamin signaled the group to stay close as the shape approached. To their astonishment, an unusually large manta ray appeared, its wingspan much wider than any they had seen before. At first, the divers were thrilled by the sight of the majestic creature. However, the manta ray's behavior quickly changed. It began to circle the group aggressively, its movements fast and erratic. Benjamin realized that the manta ray was mistaking them for threats. The creature's powerful tail lashed out, creating strong currents and making it difficult for the divers to stay together. Panic set in as the manta ray charged towards them, using its size and strength to intimidate them. The divers knew they had to escape. Using their underwater communication devices, Benjamin instructed the group to stay calm and follow his lead. The situation had become dangerous, and their only goal now was to reach the surface safely. Benjamin led the way, signaling the group to follow him towards a nearby reef. The manta ray continued its aggressive behavior, its tail creating powerful waves that pushed the divers around. Bella stayed close to Henry and Viella, ensuring they kept together. The group moved as quickly as possible, their hearts pounding as they tried to escape the enraged manta ray. As they swam towards the reef, the manta ray charged again, forcing them to change direction. Benjamin pointed towards a narrow crevice in the reef, hoping it would provide some protection. One by one, the divers squeezed through the tight space, the manta ray too large to follow them directly. They found a momentary refuge, catching their breath and planning their next move. Benjamin used his underwater communication device to guide the group towards the surface. He knew they needed to ascend slowly to avoid decompression sickness, but the manta ray's presence made it a challenge. The group stayed close together, moving cautiously through the water. The manta ray, unable to reach them in the crevice, circled above, waiting for another opportunity to attack. The divers inched their way upwards, their eyes constantly scanning for the manta ray. It remained a menacing shadow above them, its movements unpredictable and aggressive. As they ascended, Benjamin led them along the reef, using its cover to protect them from the manta ray's attacks. Finally, they reached a shallow area where the reef met the open water. The manta ray continued to circle, but it was less aggressive in the shallower depths. Benjamin signaled the group to make their final ascent. They moved upwards in unison, careful to stay within sight of each other. As they broke the surface, relief washed over them. They were battered and exhausted but alive. The boat was nearby, and the crew quickly helped them aboard. The divers collapsed on the deck, catching their breath and processing the terrifying experience. The boat sped back to shore, the coastline of Cozumel growing closer with each passing moment. Once on land, the divers were checked by medical staff and found to be unharmed, though shaken by the ordeal. They shared their story with the local dive community, their encounter with the aggressive manta ray becoming a tale of caution and survival. The experience had left a lasting impact on the group. Benjamin, Bella, Henry, and Viella realized how unpredictable the ocean could be. They had faced a powerful and unexpected threat, but had managed to escape through teamwork and quick thinking. The adventure tested their skills and strengthened their bond as friends. Back in their hotel, the group reflected on their dive. They were grateful to be safe and for the support they had received. The memory of the manta ray's attack would stay with them, a reminder of the ocean's power and the importance of respecting its inhabitants. As they prepared to leave Cozumel, they knew this trip would be one they would never forget. The story of their harrowing escape would be shared with friends and family, a testament to their bravery and the challenges they had overcome in the beautiful but sometimes dangerous waters of Mexico. On August 20th, 2023, in the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, professional spear fisherman David Martinez prepared for another day of hunting. David, in his mid-30s, had spent most of his life in the water. Growing up in Key West, Florida, he developed a passion for the ocean and its creatures. He learned to fish from his father, a skilled fisherman, and quickly became an expert in spearfishing. His dedication and skill earned him a reputation as one of the best in the area. David planned this trip with his diving partner Carlos, who shared his love for the sport. They aimed to catch tuna, which is known for its size and strength. The Gulf of Mexico, with its clear waters and abundant marine life, was the perfect hunting ground. They had chosen a spot near the Flower Garden Banks, a well-known coral reef system about 100 miles offshore. Early in the morning, David and Carlos boarded their boat and headed towards the reef. The sun was just rising, casting a golden glow over the water. The journey took a few hours, giving them time to check their gear and review their plan. David felt a sense of excitement and anticipation, eager to test his skills against the powerful tuna. Upon reaching the dive site, David and Carlos suited up and entered the water. The visibility was excellent, allowing them to see the vibrant underwater world clearly. Schools of fish darted around the coral, creating a stunning display of colors. David focused on his goal, scanning the area for signs of tuna. As they swam deeper, David spotted a large tuna in the distance. He signaled to Carlos and prepared his spear, moving carefully to get closer. Suddenly, a shadow passed over him. David turned to see a giant sailfish, its long, sharp bill glinting in the sunlight. Known for their speed and agility, sailfish were a rare sight and usually not aggressive. However, this one seemed different. The sailfish charged at David, its movements fast and precise. David realized it was likely protecting its territory. He quickly dodged, narrowly avoiding the sharp bill. The sailfish circled back for another attack, forcing David to dive deeper and use the underwater terrain to his advantage. David maneuvered around rocks and coral, trying to put some distance between himself and the aggressive sailfish. The creature was relentless, its sharp bill slicing through the water with alarming speed. David's heart raced as he searched for a way to escape. He knew he needed to stay calm and think strategically to avoid getting injured. The underwater landscape offered some protection, but the sailfish was fast and agile. David used every bit of his experience and skill, moving through narrow passages and hiding behind large coral formations. He hoped that Carlos would notice his struggle and come to his aid soon. David continued to navigate through the underwater maze while the sailfish was still in pursuit. He could feel his energy waning but knew he had to keep moving. The sailfish's aggression was unrelenting, its sharp bill cutting through the water as it chased him. David's mind raced, searching for a way to escape this dangerous situation. Meanwhile, Carlos noticed the commotion from a distance. He saw the sailfish's aggressive behavior and understood that David was in trouble. Carlos began to swim towards David, hoping to reach him in time. He knew that teamwork would be their best chance of overcoming this unexpected threat. David found a small cave-like opening in the reef. He quickly swam inside, hoping the narrow space would provide some protection. The sailfish paused outside the entrance, its long bill unable to reach David inside the confined area. For a brief moment, David caught his breath and gathered his thoughts. He knew he couldn't stay hidden forever and needed a plan to reach the surface safely. Carlos approached cautiously, trying not to attract the sailfish's attention. He signaled to David, indicating that he was ready to help. David nodded, understanding that they would need to work together to escape. The two divers communicated silently, planning their next move. David slowly emerged from the cave, drawing the sailfish's attention. He swam in a zigzag pattern, trying to confuse the creature. Carlos stayed behind, ready to intervene if needed. The sailfish lunged at David again, but he managed to evade its sharp bill by diving towards a cluster of large coral formations. Carlos saw his opportunity. He swam swiftly towards the sailfish, positioning himself between the creature and David. Using his spear, Carlos created a distraction. waving it to draw the sailfish's focus away from David. The tactic worked. The sailfish turned its attention to Carlos, giving David a chance to swim upwards. David ascended carefully, aware of the risks of rising too quickly. He glanced back to see Carlos skillfully maneuvering around the sailfish, buying him precious time. The surface was within sight, and David pushed himself to reach it, his lungs burning from the effort. Breaking through the surface, David gasped for air, relief flooding over him. He signaled to the boat, and the crew quickly moved to assist him. Moments later, Carlos joined him at the surface, also exhausted but unharmed. The sailfish, seeing both men out of its territory, swam away, disappearing into the depths. Back on the boat, the crew helped David and Carlos out of the water. They were checked for injuries and given warm towels. The adrenaline from the encounter still coursed through their veins, but they were safe. The team shared a moment of quiet relief, grateful for their survival. The experience left a lasting impression on both men. They realized the importance of being prepared for the unexpected and the value of teamwork in dangerous situations. The Gulf of Mexico, with its beauty and challenges, had once again shown its unpredictable nature. As they headed back to shore, David and Carlos reflected on the day's events. They were thankful for their skills and training, which had helped them navigate the perilous encounter with the aggressive sailfish. The story of their intense struggle and escape would be shared with friends and fellow divers, a testament to their courage and the powerful creatures that inhabit the ocean's depths. On December 15, 2023, in the icy waters near McMurdo Station in Antarctica, a team of dedicated scientists was conducting a survey of marine life. The team, led by Dr. Gene Carter, included marine biologists Dr. Denver Wilson, Dr. Narissa Thompson, and research assistant Lee Rivera. Their mission was to study the unique and diverse marine ecosystem beneath the Antarctic ice. The team had spent months preparing for this expedition. They gathered the necessary equipment, studied satellite images, and planned their dive sites carefully. The harsh conditions of Antarctica presented significant challenges, but their passion for marine biology and the desire to uncover the secrets of the icy waters drove them forward. McMurdo Station, the largest research base in Antarctica, served as their home and base of operations. From here, they ventured out onto the ice, setting up temporary camps and dive sites. Their work involved collecting samples, observing marine animals, and documenting the underwater environment. The morning of December 15th was particularly cold, with the temperature well below freezing. The team suited up in their specialized gear, designed to protect them from the frigid waters. They checked their equipment, ensuring everything was in working order. The excitement of another dive filled the air as they hoped to discover new insights into the marine life of Antarctica. Dr. Gene Carter led the dive, with Dr. Denver Wilson and Lee Rivera following closely. Dr. Narissa Thompson stayed on the ice, monitoring their progress and maintaining communication. The water was crystal clear, offering a breathtaking view of the underwater world. Schools of fish darted through the water, and various species of sea stars and anemones clung to the icy surfaces. As they moved deeper, the team marveled at the beauty and diversity of the marine life. Suddenly, a shadow moved in the distance. Dr. Carter signaled for the team to stay alert. The shadow grew larger, and they soon realized they were not alone. A massive leopard seal, known for its predatory nature, approached them with alarming speed. The leopard seal, with its powerful jaws and sleek body, was one of Antarctica's top predators. It targeted Lee, who was slightly separated from the group. The seal's sharp teeth glinted as it lunged towards him. Lee's heart raced as he quickly tried to evade the attack. The seal was relentless, its predatory instincts driving it to pursue Lee through the icy waters. Dr. Carter and Dr. Wilson moved swiftly to help. They signaled to Lee to head towards the ice floes, hoping to use them for protection. The team coordinated their efforts, working together to distract the seal and give Lee a chance to escape. The once peaceful dive had turned into a fight for survival in the cold, unforgiving waters of Antarctica. Lee swam towards the ice floes as fast as he could, his heart pounding in his chest. The leopard seal was close behind, its powerful body cutting through the water with ease. Dr. Carter and Dr. Wilson flanked the seal, trying to divert its attention and slow it down. The cold water made every movement a struggle, but their determination kept them going. Reaching the ice floes, Lee used them as a barrier, quickly maneuvering between the large chunks of ice. The seal lunged at him, but the ice provided a temporary shield. Lee's mind raced as he tried to think of a way to reach the surface safely. The seal was relentless, circling around and looking for an opening to attack. Dr. Thompson, monitoring from above, saw the urgency of the situation. She signaled the rest of the team on the ice to prepare for a rescue. The team quickly set up ropes and pulleys, ready to pull Lee out of the water as soon as he reached the surface. The minutes felt like hours as they watched the intense struggle below. Underwater, Dr. Carter and Dr. Wilson continued their efforts to distract the seal. They used their lights and equipment to create disturbances in the water, hoping to confuse the predators. The seal momentarily shifted its focus, giving Lee a small window of opportunity to move closer to the surface. Lee, exhausted but determined, pushed himself towards the opening in the ice where the team was waiting. He could see the ropes dangling into the water, a lifeline to safety. The seal, sensing its prey was escaping, made one last aggressive charge. Lee dodged, narrowly avoiding the sharp teeth. With a final burst of energy, Lee reached the ropes. The team above pulled with all their strength, lifting him out of the water and onto the ice. Dr. Carter and Dr. Wilson quickly followed, their faces a mix of relief and exhaustion. The seal, frustrated, retreated into the depths, its pursuit finally over. On the ice, the team wrapped Lee in warm blankets and checked for injuries. He was cold and shaken, but otherwise unharmed. The team members shared a moment of silent gratitude, knowing how close they had come to a disaster. They had faced one of Antarctica's top predators and managed to escape with their lives. Back at McMurdo Station, the team reflected on the day's events. The encounter with the leopard seal was a stark reminder of the dangers of their work. Despite the risks, their dedication to studying the unique marine life of Antarctica remained strong. The experience had tested their skills and strengthened their bond as a team. The story of their close call spread quickly, becoming a tale of courage and quick thinking. The team's coordinated effort and determination had saved Lee's life, a testament to their training and teamwork. As they prepared for future dives, they carried the lessons learned from this encounter, ever mindful of the powerful and unpredictable nature of the Antarctic waters. On August 10, 2023, in the crystal-clear waters off the coast of Kona, Hawaii, the annual Kona Big Game Fishing Tournament was in full swing. This prestigious event attracted seasoned anglers from around the world, all eager to showcase their skills and compete for the grand prize. The tournament was known for its challenging conditions and the opportunity to catch some of the biggest and most powerful fish in the ocean. One of the top competitors was William Thompson, a veteran angler with decades of experience. William had participated in the Kona tournament many times and had earned a reputation for his skill and determination. This year, he was more determined than ever to win the top prize. His crew, a group of trusted and experienced fishermen, shared his enthusiasm and dedication. The day started early, with William and his crew setting out from the harbor before sunrise. The weather was perfect, with calm seas and a gentle breeze. The excitement was palpable as they headed towards their chosen fishing spot, a well-known area where giant marlins were often found. The boat, a sturdy vessel equipped with the best fishing gear, cut through the water effortlessly. As the sun rose, the team prepared their equipment, setting up the rods and checking the lines. William stood at the helm, his eyes scanning the horizon for any signs of fish. Hours passed with no luck, but the crew remained patient and focused. They knew that in the world of big game fishing, patience was key. Suddenly, one of the lines jerked violently. William's heart raced as he grabbed the rod, feeling the immense power of the fish on the other end. It was a giant marlin, known for its incredible strength and speed. The battle began, with William using all his skill to reel in the powerful fish. The marlin put up an extraordinary fight, leaping out of the water and thrashing its body. The crew worked together, each member playing a crucial role in managing the lines and keeping the boat steady. William's arms ached from the effort, but he refused to give up. The marlin's strength seemed endless, but slowly it began to tire. Just as they thought they were gaining the upper hand, the marlin made a sudden, unexpected move. The fish charged directly at the boat, its sharp bill aimed at the hull. The impact was tremendous, the marlin's bill piercing through the side of the boat. Water began to pour in, and chaos erupted. The crew scrambled to stabilize the vessel, using all their strength and experience to keep it afloat. William, undeterred by the danger, continued to fight the marlin, determined to secure the win. The next moments were crucial as the team worked frantically to control the situation. The power and unpredictability of the marlin were on full display, showcasing the raw dangers of the sport. The crew moved quickly to stabilize the boat. They used pumps to remove the water rushing in and patched the hole as best they could. Every second counted as the boat struggled to stay afloat. William focused on the marlin, knowing the fight was far from over. His arms burned from the effort, but he held on tight. The marlin, though tired, continued to resist. Its powerful body thrashed in the water, creating waves that rocked the boat even more. William's determination never wavered. He knew this was his chance to secure a win in the tournament, and he wasn't going to let it slip away. The crew, working together seamlessly, managed to slow the water flow. They encouraged William, understanding the importance of his task. The marlin's movements grew slower as it exhausted itself, and William saw his opportunity. With one final intense effort, he pulled the fish closer to the boat. The crew was ready with a gaff to secure the marlin. As the giant fish was brought alongside the boat, its size and strength were evident to all. William felt a surge of triumph as they secured the marlin, ensuring it couldn't escape. The immediate danger to the boat had passed, but the challenge of getting the marlin back to shore remained. William and his team worked together to secure the marlin and prepare the boat for the journey back. The patch held and the pumps kept the water level manageable. Exhausted but elated, they set course for the harbor, knowing they had accomplished something incredible. As they neared the shore, word of their struggle and triumph spread among the other competitors and spectators. People gathered at the dock, eager to see the giant marlin and hear about the dramatic events that had unfolded. William and his crew were greeted with cheers and applause, and their victory was celebrated by all. The marlin was officially weighed and measured, confirming its massive size. William's daring actions and the crew's teamwork had paid off. They had not only secured a win, but had done so under the most challenging circumstances. Back on land, William reflected on the day's events. The power and unpredictability of the marlin had tested his skills and determination. The experience had shown the true dangers of big game fishing and the importance of staying calm and focused in a crisis. The story of William and the giant marlin became a highlight of the Kona Big Game Fishing Tournament, a testament to the raw power of nature and the resilience of those who face it. William's name was added to the list of champions, and his triumph was remembered as one of the most dramatic and inspiring in the tournament's history.